You know, whenever we talk about AI, it's easy to get lost in the tech, the algorithms, the data, all that stuff. But what if the real danger, the biggest risk, isn't the AI itself, but the fact that we haven't set any rules for it? Today, we're tackling the AI governance gap, and honestly, why doing nothing is probably the biggest risk your business can take. This really gets to the heart of it. An AI strategy coach, Jane Chu, shared that this is the one question leaders are always asking her, in those quiet, off the record chats. What actually happens if we don't do this? It just cuts through all the noise, right? It's the question that really matters. And here's the answer. It's a pretty uncomfortable truth. Look, this isn't about some evil sci-fi robot apocalypse. No, the real danger is much simpler. AI can cause massive damage just because it's ungoverned. That's it. No malice needed, just a lack of rules. And that's the core problem we're going to dig into.
All right, so here's how we're going to break it all down. We'll start with why leaders are asking this question in the first place, then look at the huge cost of getting it wrong. We'll check out what the research says, give you a practical playbook, and wrap up with a success story. Simple.
Okay, so first things first. Why are we even talking about this at the leadership level? Well, it's pretty straightforward. AI isn't some tool locked away in the IT department anymore. It's already making its mark on HR, finance, marketing, you name it. And when a tool has that much sway over your business, well, overseeing it becomes a core job for leadership, period.
So what's really at stake if you just do nothing? Let's talk about the high cost of failure. I'm going to walk you through 5 critical risks that come from having an ungoverned AI. And these are real. Number 1, and this one can happen fast, your brand and customer trust just collapses. I mean, think about it. What if your AI hiring tools start showing bias? Or your marketing AI spits out something totally offensive? All that trust you've spent years building, poof, gone in an instant. Next up, the legal and compliance nightmare. If your AI isn't governed, it could easily mishandle customer data. We're talking huge data breaches, violating privacy laws like GDPR. And you know what comes with that, right? Massive fines. This isn't just a bad headline. It's a direct hit to your bottom line. All right, risk number 3 is a bit sneaky. It's called model poisoning. Basically, it's a cyber attack where bad guys feed your AI garbage data on purpose, just to mess it up from the inside. Without strong governance, you might not even realize your AI has been corrupted until it's way too late. And number 4, this is where things get scary. Your own tools can be turned against you. An ungoverned AI can be hijacked to create super convincing deepfakes, cook up new kinds of malware, or even figure out how to bypass your own security checks. It's like having a super smart insider threat. And finally, risk number 5, making the wrong call, but on a massive scale. Look, one small mistake from an AI is one thing, but what happens when you automate that mistake and it gets repeated thousands or even millions of times with no human in the loop? That's how a tiny error blows up into a massive strategic failure. Okay, I know what you might be thinking. Is this stuff really happening or is it just theory? Well, it's definitely happening. Let's take a look at the research, which shows this huge gap between how fast we're grabbing AI and how slow we are to actually watch over it. Yeah, the numbers don't lie. A Deloitte report on the APAC region found that most companies just don't have solid AI governance. The OECD backs this up, pointing out 2 huge problems. 1, our data governance is generally weak, and 2, most companies can't even explain how their own AI models work. So the big takeaway here, this isn't just a you problem, it's an everyone problem. All right, that was a lot of doom and gloom, I know. It can feel a bit overwhelming, but here's the good news. There is a clear path forward. So let's pivot from the problem to the solution. Let's talk about your governance playbook. First thing to remember, governance isn't one size fits all. What works for a huge corporation won't work for a small business. So for SMEs, you can start simple, like really simple. Define what tools your team is allowed to use, set boundaries on data, train everybody, document how you're using it. The key is just getting some control. Now, for the big players, the corporates, it's a bit different. You're thinking bigger. You need a dedicated AI governance council. You should adopt established principles from groups like the OECD and UNESCO, and you absolutely have to map out every single place AI touches your business. That's how you build a system for proper monitoring and audits. And I want to prove to you that this isn't just about playing defense and avoiding disaster. Good governance is actually what lets you grow and succeed with AI. Let's check out a quick success story that shows exactly that. So, picture this, a regional F&B chain. Their biggest problem? Food waste. It was killing their profits because their forecasting was just terrible. So, they bring in an AI system to fix it. But, and this is the most important part, they didn't just switch it on and hope for the best. They put guardrails in place. Simple stuff, like data checks and having a human sign off on the AI's suggestions. And the result? It worked. They slashed waste, their forecasting got way better, and it all happened because they built a system they could actually trust.
So let's just leave it with this final thought. This isn't some far-off future question. It's a right-now question. Because whether you've officially rolled it out or not, chances are your teams are already using AI. It's already making decisions in your business. So the real question, the one you need to walk away with today, is who's governing them?